Hi everybody, my name is Alan. On behalf of my co-host Constancia, I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Bridging Heaven and Earth. I just see this time in history, in love and grace, as a time of harmony and a time of healing. And I don't know how many people watched the show 2 weeks ago. We had Joel Andrews, who played this incredible harp, when we were talking about the healing of sound, of music. And just as it works out, tonight again, we have just that kind of healing, of harmony, of bridging heaven and earth through sound and through the vibration of the human tone. And it should be a very powerful show tonight. So whatever happened to you during the day today, just cool out, relax, settle in. We have about 58.5 minutes of really beautiful experiences for you. So we have Christa is with us, who's a healer and a teacher, and the sounds that come out of this person will just knock you out. And she's going to be doing some singing and healing and crystal singing with Oceanna, who has some incredible pictures for you here too tonight. So just stay with us, and I think you'll have a wonderful experience. So as we usually do at this time, Constancia leads us in an invocation and a meditation. So Constancia.
Thank you, Alan. So maybe you can just close your eyes or just take a deep breath with me and journey into yourself as we call forth to the masters and the angels from all of the higher dimensions, from the spiritual hierarchy and from the cosmic hierarchy, to set the tone in this room, to set the energies and to be with us and bring their radiance down upon us and into our hearts. And we call forth to Archangel Michael and ask him to bring his golden hands into our bodies, into our beings at this time, and clear our energy. And we call forth to Lord Melchizedek at the universal level and ask for a descension of light, a descension of beauty to lift us, and an ascension blessing at this time. And we call forth now into this studio and into your homes, wherever you are watching this and whenever, where we ask to be out of time and out of space and into freedom. And we ask that you please bring an anchoring now from the spiritual hierarchy into this room of the Ascension Chamber at Shambhala, which is the center for the spiritual hierarchy. Now let these energies come in, because if your free will opens up to it, these energies will come in and join with yours. And we call forth to the archangels and ask that their energies join in here. We ask that our chakras be open this evening, the primary 7 and all the higher chakras. We ask that the chakras overlay one upon the other. And tonight we ask for the installation of the 50 chakra system. But all of these higher energies that are ours, that are our divine self, let them come forth and move into us and take their position. And we call forth to the great Elohim, the creator gods and goddesses who have created all the worlds of light. And we call for the language of light to come pouring in now. The light packets of information from those highest dimensions to come in and be integrated within our 4-body system. And we call forth for the anchoring now and installation of all the sacred geometries from the solar level, from the galactic level, from the universal level, and from the planetary level. As we sit back now, close your eyes and allow these energies to come in and root themselves within us, bringing us into awakening, bringing us into ascension, bringing us into love, bringing us into our own Christed hearts, as sons and daughter of Father and Mother God. Thank you. So I'm really excited tonight. I was thinking on the way over here, I know that you and I both, several years ago, probably 20 years ago, were initiated and we were shown the music that plays within us. And I was thinking about sound and all the ramifications and all the ways that we've experienced it. And, you know, in my study, you know, I do a lot of spiritual study. In my study, I've come to know that, like, we are all energy and vibration. And we were shown that because of the music that, you know, that we hear inside of us. But I've also come to know that the very universe that we live in is empowered by sound. That absolutely every feeling and absolutely every movement, so all the changes that are happening on the earth now, it's almost like what I was hearing was the sound is changing, the music of the spheres is changing, which is allowing, now earth is changing.
Would you say that there's one sound that's not changing?
I don't know, because I don't know if higher octaves of a sound.
The way we would hear it might change.
Right. So even, you know, like when you get really, really still, you might hear the sound of silence or the sound of Om. And I don't know if everything's always accelerating and ascending, and even God itself, himself, herself is ascending, then I don't know that everything wouldn't always be, you know, and greater and greater. And so it's just that I don't know. Maybe one day we will. But anyway, it gives me like a lot of pleasure to introduce our guest tonight, who is Christa Ray. I remember when she first came to town, Santa Barbara, and I met her, and she allowed me to sit in on a little session, and I saw her. Do you remember, Christa Ray? I saw her. You were breathing into someone, and you went right up to somebody's heart, and I remember who it was, and you made these tones into their heart, and I'd never seen anything like it, because you looked so much like an angel, and I was sitting on the couch like, it was so angelic and so perfect. And it's a wonderful thing that you are doing. Maybe you could just sort of tell us how it happened that you...
Well, about 10 years ago, I started on my spiritual path. And one of the things that I was taught was how to Om. And I would Om to receive my Christed presence into my body. It was a very grounding method for me. And one day I was in Hawaii, and I was sitting on a rock right where a river met the ocean, and I was Oming to bring down the Christ light of my being into my body. And I started hearing this high-pitched ringing in my ears, and then all of a sudden I felt this huge column of light, of presence, infill my body. And I opened up my eyes, and I just saw the light in everything. And I saw light around everything and in everything, and it felt like Christ consciousness, which I was working with at the time, was in everything and in me. So I recognized at that time that sound was a way that I came into connection with my being, with my soul, and it just evolved from that point.
I mean, when you were small, did you sing? I mean, were you always drawn to singing?
I always loved to sing, and I played piano I studied intensely for like 8 years, so I always had music in my life. But I never considered myself a singer until like this year, because I wasn't, you know, really supported as a child to sing, which many of us have had that experience. But I sang anyway because I enjoyed it. But I had a lot of, you know, inhibitions about it, and toning actually, the sound healing, the toning and chanting work helped me to release those inhibitions.
I mean, when you first started out doing this, were you able to open? I mean, I've noticed that you really do have to be uninhibited and to really let the voice come through.
Yes. See, for me, I feel like what happened for me is that as I aligned my voice with spiritual practice, I got out of my personality and my ego. So I wasn't listening to myself in terms of how good am I sounding or what is the pitch. I was just focusing on the energy and the quality of the energy and how it was moving through my body. So, and then one day I noticed, wow, my tone is pretty rich because all the work started opening up all of my centers and the resonating chambers in my chest and my head. So it's wonderful how it evolved that way.
Amazing.
And anyone can do it. It's easy.
Well, you've
anyone
been
can
teaching
sing.
people how to do it.
Yes.
You know, and triggering people or helping people to open up to their sound, haven't you, for a while?
I have. I've been in Santa Barbara for almost, I think, three and a half years. And this is where I really began teaching sound work. I'd been teaching other things, but here it just felt like I had this amazing dream one night where I started hearing this song that was within the crystals that were resonating in a drum that this being was playing. And it was just these tones, and I woke up singing it. And it was when I first got to Santa Barbara, and I knew that that was like my life song. It was a vibration of my soul, and that I had come here to share that, to help people open up to that.
One thing I wanted to say, you know, just to our viewers, is that there is a lot of sound right now going on, and a lot of people have been saying, I hear a ringing in my ears. A lot of people are hearing more intense and higher pitched ringing in their ears, and don't worry. Some people have said, what's wrong with me? Am I getting tinnitus or something? And your light body's being attuned. That's what the angels have told me is all that's happening. I mean, sometimes I have just the wildest sounds that I'm hearing now. We're just sort of, you know, so I just want to just tell everybody that, because it's going to happen more and more, because the frequencies, you know, for the earth are rising. So when did you start doing this thing called soul singing, which that is, I heard you do it once, and I've never heard that anywhere.
You said she did it to like a whole room of people.
There are a lot of
went
people
around.
in the room. She went around to everyone, and it was just so magnificent. And so how is it that you know that you're connecting with their soul, and what is it that, do you sing what you hear, or how does it work?
Well, several years ago I was initiated into this language of light, and it was with a shamanistic teacher, and she sang this language, and she said it was the language of the guardian. And then in my inner meditations, I heard it was the language of the Elohim. And what I've come to realize is that the Elohim is a place I go to. It's the place, as you'd said in the meditation, of the creator, of the energies of the divine, bringing the unmanifest into manifest through the sound current, because sound is that creative current. And so when I'm looking into someone's eyes, I just open myself up to their soul, and I just know through years of meditation how to raise my vibration to that place. And then I also open up to that realm, if you would, of the universal creative principle, and then I just sing. And I'm surprised at the sounds that come out of my mouth and the melodies, because a lot of times I couldn't sing those if I was trying to sing a song.
Right.
You know, it really does just flow through me. And I think a lot of it is because I'm just stepping out of my personality.
Do you do healing tapes like that, or tapes that people, when they do a session with you, do they have like a tape for that and all?
I haven't done that. I've had that idea.
It's Joe Andrews.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw the show 2 weeks ago, but he did that.
Yeah, I've
you know,
definitely
with the harp, and then described it. Because he says, you know, then people can just hear it over and over again and bring that vibration into their lives more and more.
Right. I don't know. One of the things that I believe is that we're constantly evolving. So the song that I may sing to someone in one moment may not be the same song or the same rhythm or anything that I may sing to them a week later, you know, because of the moment and what they need in the moment.
It was something to do that he would find their signature,
their signature, right.
And then, you know, sort of be like their root. So going back to their root could never hurt them. It was his way.
Which is changing so rapidly now because we're accelerating so much.
Well, that's almost the same question I asked you earlier. Does the root change? But I guess it's a whole other story.
Yes, absolutely.
Well,
and maybe people could relate to the singing almost like, 'cause when you sing the names of God or any of the like the ancient Hebrew language and the ancient Egyptian language, there's certain names that people sang to raise their vibration, and now these things people are starting to realize these things and sing them, and so sound is just a gift. So I am ready for you to sing to my soul.
Okay. So I just ask you just to fully relax and expand as you so well know how to do. And relax your jaw.
Okay.
Ti careusi appurato mea parrochia
Maybe next time you're on the show. That was so divine.
You can do me.
You took your glasses out.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
know.
This is a special occasion.
Everybody was...
Maleuria so neatulia rohui mayena lora curiam ole amaye amianu istiria tola yapu niratish kalehiana What a beautiful soul. How melodic.
Wow,
Really?
that
It was
was incredible.
felt childlike.
He is. In a good way.
Childish is what
Prankster.
we were trying to figure out childlike or childish, but
Wow.
so that was incredible.
That's amazing.
Really, I felt a feminine aspect of you also that was really coming through.
Hmm.
So it was really soft and nice. Yeah, thank you. You know, I thank the people I sing to because they have a willingness to open and be present. And that takes a lot. It takes a lot to just look into someone's eyes and be there, you know.
I know, I was just thinking about, you know how people don't look at each other in elevators? If they get in an elevator with you and you look at them and start singing, it would blow them away.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Right.
So tell us about toning.
Toning.
Yeah, how do you do that, and overtoning, dubbing, the harmonics and all of that, and how it works.
Well, toning
Yeah.
is very simple. I mean, it's just simply the vocalization of the breath with a vowel sound. But it usually has the intention for healing or connection with spirit. And it's not singing. I tell my students that because a lot of people come and they say, I can't sing. And I said, well, you can tone, and yes, you can sing, but we'll get to that later.
Right.
Because singing usually involves a lot of control, and you're kind of in your left brain more, listening to your pitch and the placement and so forth. And toning is more of a letting go. It's more of a right-brained expression of the voice, although it does balance the hemispheres of the brain. And within about 10 minutes, if you tone a vowel sound for 10 minutes, your physiology goes through amazing changes. You know, your heart rate slows down, your brain waves go to a deeper level,
Right,
beta or theta, or
right.
whatever. and your breath, your respiratory rate gets very calm because you're taking these long breaths and you're oxygenating your body. I mean, that's happening on a physical level. And then whatever your intention is, you can magnetize, you know. So
Right.
if you want to magnetize healing energy or get in touch with a part of your body through sound, you can. And the overtoning is like bringing out the sounds within the sound, the inner structure of sound. And it's simply, it's an amazing process, and it's a big subject, but the harmonics that you hear when I tone, you hear those higher frequencies, they're actually in all sounds. I just shape my vocal cavity in such a way that I amplify those inner sounds. But those harmonics are what make every sound unique in the universe. Your voice is unique, different from mine, and yours is different from mine, and the sound of a piano is different from the sound of a flute, and that is because different harmonics are being emphasized because of the shape. One of the things is because of the shape of the instrument, and we all have different shapes. So that's
I saw a video by Greg Braden once, and it showed little fibers. I thought they were cells, but the person I was seeing it with said that they were little fibers, like cloth. And they played different sounds, and it was amazing. But these little fibers started, like they changed the way they were like dancing to the music, and they totally changed when the sound changed, and it was just a completely easy way to see the effect of sound.
You know, when you were doing the meditation, I think on the monitor they had the picture of the sound of Om that comes through the computer. Is that the one you have up there? I mean, so why don't you tell that story? Or you know the story too, right? I'm the only one who doesn't know the story, so
well, it's the Sri Yantra. Actually, when the sound of Om produces that drawing, that's what I know about it.
I mean, how does it produce it? What do you mean it produces?
Well, sound moves matter, and it organizes matter into patterns and shapes and geometries. And what's amazing about the Sri Yantra, and it's interesting you brought that up because it was the first thing that really like blew my mind about the relationship between sound and form, was that the ancient, rishis in India meditated on this symbol. They saw it in their inner vision, and they said, this is the sound of the Om. And now with modern technology, they have ways of vibrating matter like sand or water or gel, and they run sound current through it, and they see that it creates these patterns.
And when they can photograph the pattern of that, and that's what it showed.
In a sense, that's in a very little nutshell. That's like saying what sacred geometries are, because there's music, there's sound and vibration, and all the different levels. Universal, galactic, solar, and all these, and the sacred geometries are different for each level. So it's probably like that.
Right.
The patterns become different based on the vibration. Wow.
Right.
Describe the whole universe.
The show's over now, everybody.
So there's three main tones, or three. Were you telling me something about three main ones, or?
There's three tones that are used in sound healing generally. 3 types of tones, and the first one is like clearing sounds, and that happens when you resonate with a part of yourself that's stuck, and you give it expression, and that helps to move the vibration, and it raises the vibration of that area. And the second type are soothing sounds, and they're sounds that soothe the emotional body, because our emotions are really connected to sound, and you can smooth the energy bodies. So if you've done a lot of clearing, it's nice to then do some soothing. And I usually use like the ooh sound, like very kind of like lullaby type sounds, very soothing, and often actually deeper, ooh sounds. And then the third type is the regenerative sounds or recreative sounds, and those are the sounds that I go to. They can be any sound. It's a place that I go to that holds the blueprint of perfection for the human being. And so when I go to that place, it brings it activates within a person that cellular consciousness of perfection, so that they're healing or growing or whatever from themselves, from their inner light. And I often will do the overtones for that. Would you like me to demonstrate a regenerative tone? Because I'll go to that place.
Set up for the little
toning
toning demonstration.
Toning exercise. Yes. Yeah, pretty long one. So.
Okay. Wow. Ellen, we had our souls sung too. That's pretty exciting.
I know.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was great.
And tonight we're so lucky because we have Oceanna's paintings that we can be showing, and the paintings have a sound too, because they're a vibration too, and so we can maybe like tune into them. And
isn't it curious how you go through periods like, it just struck me when I was driving here. We had Joel Andrews last week, and we didn't have any plan to it that we're going to have, you know, like sound and vibration is the next stage, and then here it is, all of us.
Yeah.
So it's
really.
amazing. So I guess whenever Christa's ready.
She's ready.
Okay.
So, in this exercise, you can do it at home, and you can spend a lot of time doing this. We're going to do a brief kind of example. And in this exercise, we're going to be working with the clearing sounds and the regenerative sounds. And we're going to start with getting in touch with this part of our bodies, sort of from the navel down to the pubic bone. And a really good way to do that through movement and breath is to just rock your pelvis back and forth as you breathe. And let the weight go into your feet and your knees be soft. And then you can kind of swivel your hips around, breathing into your abdomen area. And then closing your eyes and going inside, and find a place energetically where it feels like you may have some tension or some stuck energy. Let your hands find that place and rest them in your abdomen area, and breathe into your hands. And just feel the quality of energy that's beneath your hands. Just notice any feelings that come up, any images, colors. And then when you feel ready, you just give voice to the feelings that you feel in this part of your body. So you're honoring the stuckness. Rather than trying to get rid of it and releasing it, it's like you're resonating with it so that it feels acknowledged and can move to the next level. Wants to move to really connect with this energy. This is a part of yourself that has been ignored and just wants a voice. And the trick is just to let go, to really not, watch yourself with your mind too much. And when that part of yourself feels satisfied, you let yourself expand. You let yourself, almost like your body's particleizing and becoming empty. And you may feel like your hands want to move out. And you open up into the light, which you are. So you've acknowledged the darkness, and you know the darkness. Now you rest in the light of the wholeness of your being. And from that place, you bring through a tone. And that tone can come through and just embrace and enfold this part of yourself that has been separate. You bring it into the wholeness. And I suggest an ooh sound. But any sounds that want to come through, you allow. Ooh. And just feel the space that has been created. And then letting your energy move up into your chest, your heart, your lung area. And a really great way to get in touch with this part of your body is to do this movement and breath. You're kind of playing with spheres of energy, opening up and contracting, holding a ball of light here, opening up the energy, It's like your rib cage is opening up and your heart is being just exposed. And you can really start feeling where you hold tension, you know, where you might have some stuck energy. But be gentle with your neck. And then bring your hands to, again, a part of your chest area that feels stuck or tight. And breathe into that place. When you touch yourself and breathe into that part of your body, that part of yourself can give you a lot of information, what's going on there. It has a certain rhythm, certain quality. Tuning into that quality of energy beneath your hands. And then when you're ready, giving that quality of energy, of stuckness or separation, oftentimes there's sadness in this area. So giving that a voice. And you're letting your body move. It's like you just trust the energy and you let it unfold. You follow the energy with your voice and your body. And you could do this for 10 minutes. You could really get into it and let go. And then you open up again into the light, expanding your energy field. Relaxing. Resting in the light, knowing the darkness. You tune in with your wholeness and sound a tone of regeneration, of wholeness and embracing, of love of this part of yourself. And then letting the energy move up into your head. And just bring your hands to your head. And gently massage the back of your skull and your neck, where your head kind of connects into your neck, because there's a lot of mental tension that gets built up here. So just kind of feeling the quality of energy in your head, feel tight. Your face. This is a great way to warm up your voice too, to have it resonate in your head. And so for this, I just suggest people to make sounds that really feel good. Really open up the head and the face. It can be really silly, like Jim Carrey when you were a kid. So you can resonate the whatever the quality of energy you feel in your head. Feels so free and wonderful. And you just, at that point, you allow the top of your head to open. Again, allowing your energy field to expand. Feeling a channel of light extend out the top of your head. Connecting in with the sun, or your soul, whatever you connect with as a higher power source. And from that place, bringing forth a tone that will come into your head and resonate your head, but at the same time, it's like you let it stretch down your spine and into your feet. And I like to use the E sound. It's really very resonant in the head. And I like to end with humming into the feet, just ground the energy. So that's a little tune-up exercise that you can do at home anytime. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was great.
You want to try?
I'm glad she didn't make some of those sounds when she was singing to my soul. I would have been freaked out beyond all recognition, I'm sure.
Wow. It's really good to be free.
So I think we're going to try to show some of Oceanna's pictures now. You know,
Yeah,
Christa's coming back to the set.
Yeah, maybe while she's setting up, we could take a look at some of them.
These are Oceanna's pictures, and she's going to be doing some singing, toning, sound work with Christa a little later. So here are some pictures that she's done that are really just unbelievable. Actually, this is the one we did for the poster for the show this weekend. So anybody in Santa Barbara, when I post, I put posters up everywhere, so they're probably all over town, so you'll probably be able to see them. And there's a huge one on the set that we'll see later that is part of the exercise that Oceanna and Christa are going to do later.
That's the star tetrahedron. The Merkaba.
Are these available in cards, or are they just pictures?
She has posters.
Posters, they're all posters. Yeah. So if anyone's interested, I guess you know the drill by now, you can call me at 687-2053 and I'll give you whatever information you need. These are just really powerful pieces of work.
That's so powerful because it's the Star of David. As above, so below, higher and lower, heaven and earth.
You know the name of that one, Stasi?
I don't know the name of that, it's just divine. That's a 6-foot painting that's sitting here blessing us. The angel. The guardian angel. Guardian gate.
You'll see more of that one during the Oceanna Christa exercise later.
So you must feel pretty good after that.
I feel up there.
You know,
grounded.
It's interesting. I was actually thinking when you were doing it, I mean, you looked really beautiful and powerful when you got here, but when you finished that, you looked even more so.
Yeah, it does amplify the energy field.
Right.
I mean, you looked like a lion, and then you went from a lion to like a cat. I saw all these images with you.
Yeah. Well, I connect with a lot of archetypical energies, when I tone. I mean, we all do because toning really is like a regression back to the time before we had words. It's like getting back,
Right.
into that place, when we communicated through tones and gestures, and we, so it's powerful that way.
And how long do these sessions usually, I mean, do you have like all-day workshops and things like that?
I do. I have a workshop starting tomorrow, actually, tomorrow morning, a weekend.
Well, this is shown all over the country, so if you're in Santa Barbara, August 24th, which is tomorrow,
yes.
That's when the workshop is, and I guess you can call me early tomorrow, late tonight, and I'll give you Christa's number where you can reach her if you want to attend the session.
So we're kind of timeless since we're all over the country at different times.
I mean, sometimes I get calls, I don't know what show they're talking about. I really loved your show. I said, which show? I don't know. Because, we showed at different times.
Maybe you could talk a little bit about your work with Oceanna and how you, hear the paintings and see the
She's going to be in the workshop with you tomorrow.
Yes,
Right.
yes. Yeah, we're exploring what you were saying, seeing sound and hearing art, kind of giving people a holographic experience of energy and of life. And we have found that, I have found that when I'm creating sounds, just as you experience images coming to you, sound is very related to form and to structure. And Oceanna, I know when she paints, she's always listening to sounds, and it's like the sound, inspires her and brings images to her. So, so I have found that everything in the universe, this is common knowledge, well, maybe not common knowledge, but fairly common, that everything vibrates, and so everything really is sound, or it has a sound frequency to it. And so if you open enough and you let go of your mental body and you move into your heart knowing, or your cellular consciousness knowing, and connect with anything, the flowers, or another person, it's the same thing. You can just intuit the sound vibration of it. And so in the workshops, we give people that experience. And we guide people on, journeys through her artwork, which has sacred geometry as a substructure to it. And sacred geometry is related to sacred sound because of the harmonic relationships between geometry and the sound frequencies. And it just aligns. It's an aligning process, and it opens up doorways and gateways to other dimensions, which is also a very ancient, practice used in shamanistic cultures and, all over the world. So.
Well, we're going to have it live on TV in just a couple of
We're
minutes.
going to have a taste of tomorrow's workshop, I guess.
Yeah, it's very sweet of you to come and do this.
My
Just like
pleasure.
hopping up and down in your little chair. I know, it's true. Anyway, maybe you could talk a little bit about cymatics and what that is.
Right. Well, cymatics is a study of waveform phenomena, and it's what we were talking about earlier with the Sri Yantra, and they have found that when they resonate different types of matter, sand, water, powder, that the shapes that are created by different sounds actually mimic the shapes found in nature. So you'll have organic shapes of leaves and spirals, and things come to life, as you mentioned earlier. Powder starts dancing around and stuff. So it really does sort of prove that sound creates form, or brings matter into form. And so for me, that's been such a great inspiration, because I use toning as a way to manifest in my life, manifest my own consciousness, as well as, if I want to create a workshop, I'll sit down and I'll ohm, to call in the people, or to create money or abundance, and because I know the power of the sound is a focusing force to bring spirit into form. It also brings form back into spirit, too. It's a bridge between heaven and earth.
Absolutely. One thing that I've learned in the invocation work that I do is that as soon as I say the name of a master, they're there.
I felt that.
They're there. That's why it's so important to call them.
Yes.
Because, they absolutely respect our free will and they don't interfere. But as soon as we say their name, even if we just say angels, if we say Archangel Michael, then he's there.
Right.
Because it's like his signature. It's like his signature, and it's like a direct call. Like we have his number. And it's the same thing with singing the names of God, which are on one of your tapes.
Yeah.
I love that, and that's one form that I really like, because when you sit there and sing all the different names of deities and all the different names of God, and I heard that there was 76 names of God, and it's not just saying them, it's actually bringing those energies into your field,
And we can go throughout the day, and make calls to align our energies.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's the real true
They're
function of
never
our
busy.
voice.
We never get a busy signal. It's
So
always
maybe,
a direct line.
maybe Christa can go set up to do
I think it's time for
the
a
exercise
journey.
with Oceanna.
All right.
So actually, I was just thinking that because I knew there was going to be a lot of sound work tonight. That actually sound has been, the meditation techniques we both learned were like vibration, sound, light.
That's always been strong for you, Sam.
And sound has always been very strong. That's been the strongest one of all. And it was interesting that there are different you know, people have different things. Which has been the most,
I think the light.
the light?
But when I look at the light, then I usually start hearing the sound. So they're totally interrelated.
Well, yeah, I mean, but yeah, which is like the doorway for you, do you think?
Light.
Light.
Yeah.
Because I think mine is more sound, and then light comes after that.
But I'm hearing the sound more and more, like during the day, you know, the internal. And so if we have a sound within us, and we're a heavenly body, you know, each of the planets have a sound too, and the galaxy has a sound, and the universe has a sound. So when you hear, like when people talk about the music of the spheres, talking about a real sound, you know, it's like, it's so incredible. So actually what occurred to me was, okay, well then each cell probably has a sound too.
Okay,
Anyway,
well,
I think we're ready.
Yeah, let's go for it now.
it's like, you know, there's no, it occurred to me there's no silence. There's no, like when people say the sound, there is no silence because there's always the sound
that's the sound.
of silence.
Right.
So there really is no silence.
Well,
there's just,
you know, there are always definitions of things. We define things.
The quieter we get, there's still something to be heard. Wow.
So, I think what we're going to try to do is Christa's going to, I guess, sing a message or tone a message or vibrate a message, or so maybe we'll just say goodnight to everybody, and then
maybe we can just say, listen to your hearts and listen to each other with love, and just blessings to you. And if you have any questions or want to get in touch with either of the divine women who've been on the show tonight and any of their work, please, call us and we will certainly put you in touch.
Yeah, it's 687 again 2053, and there are posters, right? And Christa has a tape too.
Right. Yeah. And we'll give you information so you can find out more.
And in 2 weeks we have another incredible show. And we have a whole lot of shows lined up that are really wonderful. So we hope you can, just keep coming. In Santa Barbara, the original shows are aired every other Friday at 9:30 on Channel 17. So whenever Christa's ready. Good night, everybody. God bless you.
I call now that my voice may be aligned with the frequencies of light and sound that will bring you into your heart, into the presence of the divine which you are.
You